All right, good morning, guys. I'd like to today to talk about a little problem that I ran across in SharePoint 2010. Under certain conditions, you will find that deleting a content type is not as easy as it should be, where every time you attempt to delete the type, SharePoint comes back and says, hey, you've got dependencies. You can't do this. The problem, to be very to the point, has to do with a secret internal recycle bin that SharePoint has. So if you have a content type that you want to delete, you have to make sure that it's totally purged out of the system before you can actually delete it. When I say totally purged out of the system, you have to make sure that all dependencies are totally purged out of the system before a content type can be deleted. Let's set up a little scenario and create a problem and then fix it. This is perhaps the best way to deal with this. So I'm going to go to site action here, site settings. I'm not going to give you a lot of explanation on what I'm doing. I'm assuming that most of you guys do know how to do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to create a content type. I come here. I know that the content type I want is not there, so I'm going to create it. It's a simple to-do list, and I create a content type called to-dos, and I'm going to start my content type like we always do, with the simplest of all. I have content types, which is an item. We're going to create a new group. We're going to call the group very appropriately to-dos, content type. With that, we click OK. I'm going to take a few extra moments to complete my to-do content type here. And for that, I'm going to go and add some stuff from existing records that I have. All right, so we come here and we see we have a to-do columns. I'm going to add, okay, add a text and a drop down. Click OK. I'm going to add one more field to complete my list, which is a due date. Now normally, there it is. Okay. And I'm going to organize my title. I want due date to be number 2. I want assigned person to be number 4. And we save all this, and what do we have? Title, due date, to do, status, assigned person 4. And we finish this. Now, let's create a list that consumes this. And again, it's going to be, the name is going to be to do 1 on the list. So let's create it. We go here, we come here on the filter, so filter for lists, custom list. Why? Because we don't have a template for this particular content type. So we use custom list as the simplest template we can put together. Call this to do 1. This is in my list. Now what we're going to do now is attach the content type we just created to this list. And again, none of you guys probably know how to do this, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I simply going to move as fast as I can through the process. So bear with me. So I'm going to add my content type. And I'm going to delete this guy, because I don't need him in this particular list. I'm going to fix my only view, which is all items, to have the right information. No attachments. Assigned person 1, due date 1, and to do status. Those are my 4 columns, right? We are going to come down here and we're going to say okay. Now, one thing that I need though, we're going to organize this because I'm anal about that, like most of you guys are. So we're going to come down here, we're going to come down to the view, we're going to open the view, and we're going to say title first. Assigned person is going to be 4th. Due date is going to be 2 and 3. Okay, I think that's all I need. Alright, we're done. We have created a dependency on that particular content type that we created before. So now we're going to add an item just to be fun. And that's going to be today. And that's going to be right now. Leave it there. Maybe we can just say started. Right? And it's going to be complete when it gets completed, right? And the person is me. That's it. I mean, really, even this step wasn't necessary. Now, here we have set up the circumstances so that this will fail the way I just told you it would. Now, I know that if I were to be stupid enough to simply go to content type here and try to delete this content type, it should and it would fail. And it would because we know we have a dependency set up, and SharePoint is very smart about that. It says, it's in use. You didn't say the magic word. Okay. So I said, well, that's easy. I know that I have a list here. Let's delete this guy, right? This is a dependency I created, so let's delete it. And I delete this list. Then I'm still stupid enough to come here and do this, thinking that it will work. And I find that when I get to do content type and try to delete it, it fails. It is in use. What the hell? There's nothing in use, but if you go to the recycle bin, it is still there. So say, aha! So if I delete it from here, now I should be able to go and delete the content type, right? And if you say yes, you're wrong. Now things are getting a little serious now because the recycle bin shows nothing. There are no other dependencies, so what's going on? Well, this surprised me a little bit. If we go into set action, site settings, you see this block of links. It's called the site collection administration. This is only visible if you are operating as a site collection administrator. In other words, if you're not at the top of the heap here with administrative rights, and what do I mean by that? I mean, you come here and you need to be one of these guys, right? I happen to be here, so I am one of those guys. Okay. Otherwise, you don't see this. You don't see this. You don't realize that in the middle here somewhere, you have a thing called recycle bin. You look here, it says end user recycle bin is empty, which we already know, But then there's this other entry here, delete from the end user recycle bin. Or, excuse me, delete it from the end. In other words, a recycle bin for the recycle bin. Click on that, and there you go. You have something in there. So what do you do now? Delete this guy. Okay, go back to set action. And we come back to the to-do. And what do you guys think is going to happen now? If you say it's going to get deleted, you're right. If you didn't, you're wrong. It is deleted. So you have to follow that the dependencies you delete all the way through all the recycle bins in SharePoint 2010. Otherwise, you might not be able to delete the content type in question. I see this problem quite a few times in the web, so a lot of people got bitten by it. This is the answer. Okay, remember, to fix it, you need to be a site collection administrator. If you're not, you won't see the right menu option to do what we just did. Hope this little video was of interest and helpful. Have a great day.